Hi everyone. Um, I wanted to stop by and talk to you a little bit about, a couple of things today. Um, I I actually went to go donate plasma, and they wound up infiltrating both arms. Now, I'm kind of used to this because I'm a hard stick. I've got superficial rolling veins. So, yeah, I've been, stuck like 5 times in the ER before. So I am kind of used to this, but it actually brought up a memory of Greg, my late husband. He had hernia surgery and wound up going back to the hospital after that because something had gone wrong. And I remember walking into the room and he goes, "Good news, honey, I'm bleeding internally. That's where the blood's supposed to be, right?" And I'm like, "No, honey, that's not exactly the way it works." He was just joking. He was actually quoting a line from the TV show Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He loved that show. But it did bring up a lot of feelings, and so I wanted to come on and talk to you a little bit about, grief. Now it's been almost 5 years since Greg passed away, and I know there are 5 stages of grief. I can't exactly remember all of them right now, but one of the things that I've found is those 5 stages don't always come in order. And it's hard because, like, one day you'll be feeling great, and the next you go through all 5 stages of grief again. It is really, really hard. And it brings back, I was helping a friend that I've known from high school, and she lost her boyfriend about a month before Christmas. It was very, very hard. But I was talking to her, and one of the things that I've found is a constant is with grief is guilt. A lot of times guilt is very present. You ask those questions of, you have that doubt within yourself of, what if I would have done this? What if I would have done, this? Or maybe I could have done this or something like that. And that's really hard to get over. I've even found it when I try to date. It's one of those that I feel guilty, almost like I'm being unfaithful. And the way that I usually help myself when I'm feeling like that is by reminding myself that I did everything I possibly could. I mean, even the things that I didn't do, it was for a reason. I was unable to, they didn't accept the help. And that is a very real thing. You cannot help those who don't want help. You can't force it on them. You can't, you can't try to manipulate them because it will always backfire. So sometimes you just kind of have to surrender to the idea that control is an illusion. And I mean, especially control over death. It's just one of those things that you can't fight, you can't control it. When your time comes, your time comes. I remember in Las Vegas, I moved out there with my late fiance, Dusty, and I remember I sent him to the hospital like 5 times because I was worried about him. And, essentially I pretty much saved his life about like 5 times before he actually did pass away. And I usually describe it as, if anybody's seen the movie The Time Machine, this inventor creates a time machine and goes back in time to try to save his fiance. And each time he goes back, she winds up dying in a sometimes even worse way than she had before or originally. And it definitely gave me a new perspective as far as when it's somebody's time to go. It's somebody's time, and you just kind of have to accept it. And I mean, you can't unring a bell, and it's hard. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. But accepting those feelings helps. You are allowed to feel complex feelings because we are complex beings, we're allowed to feel happy and sad at the same time. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You're allowed to feel, anger and frustration and love at the same time. I mean, I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, what is it? I will always love you. I just don't like you very much right now. But you're allowed to love somebody and not like them at the same time. That's part of being the complex beings that we are. And so it's okay, it's okay to feel that guilt and pain and joy at the same time. I'm one of those that I focus on living in the moment and enjoying the moment. And that's something that's brought me to this wonderful place in my life right now, where I'm just very happy. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy, with a cup of tea and a cozy blanket. That's, and at the same time, I miss them very much, and I will always feel very sad, but I believe that late is better than never, and as much as I miss them, if I had to do all over again, I would, because I had so many incredible memories with them. And when I'm missing them, when I'm feeling sad, I focus on those memories. And I can almost feel them around me. And I know that they're proud of me for keeping going and finding the joy in the little things and helping others with what I've gone through. And I don't stop myself from crying. It's natural, of course I'm crying. Any loss hurts, and it physically hurts sometimes. I constantly feel like I'm being kicked in the chest. It hurts so much. But I want to put a warning out there for anybody who's lost a loved one. Broken heart syndrome is a thing. I forget the technical term for it, but basically it's some emotional damage hits you so hard physically it can cause problems. So please, please take time to show yourself self-love. Take time to take care of yourselves. You know, it's, you've got to. We need you. And it's hard. It is. But acknowledging those feelings and feeling those feelings, that's what it needs to be done. I learned this the hard way. I wound up getting into, drugs really bad, just because I didn't want to feel what I was feeling. So I numbed myself to it, and it kept coming back harder and stronger, and until I finally just let myself feel the feelings, and I didn't stop myself. And I know it's hard to do, especially because I do have people around me that are, well, you should be over it by now, or, well, you're pathetic. Why? What people think of you has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. Keep that in mind. Maybe it's one of those that you're reflecting real pain to them, and they're scared because they really don't know what they would do if they were in your situation. So please take care of yourself. Give yourself permission to feel all of these feelings. I give you permission, if anything, because you need to feel them. You need to take time for yourself. That's the best way to show yourself some love, is by acknowledging the way that you're feeling, and be truthful with yourself. And it's hard. It's very, very hard to be, especially to be truthful with yourself, especially if you're, like I said, in my situation where people are just like, you need to get over it. No, you don't. That's just not healthy at all. And don't suppress your feelings. Please, feel them. And I mean, if you feel like you're in a place that you can't actually express your emotions, write about it. Journal it. Express it that way. Just please don't bottle them up. And that will hurt you more than anything. But journaling, I've found, is a wonderful way to express your feelings. And especially with like the guilt and things like that. But just know, it's not your fault. It is not your fault. And one of the things that I told my friend, I read about this in a book called Healing the 5 Wounds of the Heart. There we go. If you can read it. Absolutely wonderful book. It gave me a lot of healing techniques. And one of them was talk to the person that you've lost. Write a letter to them And then also write a letter to yourself in their words, with their personality. Write a letter of what you think they would be saying right now. And then read it to yourself out loud. Well, if you can't read it out loud, then just read it back to yourself. And it is very cathartic. It helps a lot. And it will kind of help with a lot of the guilt and anger and stuff like that. But I definitely would suggest trying that. So, any comments, questions, anything that, you'd like to hear more of, please let me know in the comments. I want to know about you. I want to know if there's something that you'd like to see. I'm hoping in later videos that I will be able to do a little bit of weapons demonstrations, self-defense, things of that sort, just because I've been in very many situations, and I like the weapons and self-defense and things like that. I found it gave me my power back. So stay tuned, and I will talk to you later. Thank you. Take care of yourself, please. You're worth it.